Awesome. It's Ron Goodall from FightHype.com. I'm here with former middleweight champion Pavlik from Ohio, Youngstown. How's it going?
Going good, man.
Just want to I guess, get your opinion on this, Shawn Porter Crawford event. I'm assuming you're here to watch, maybe show some support for Ohio, Shawn Porter.
Absolutely. Porter's a good friend. I've known him for a long time. He's great for boxing. I think this is going to be an interesting fight. This is one of the few fights where I'm picking a winner. I'm going to sit back and enjoy it from a fan's standpoint. I think it's going to be a really interesting fight. Porter has not ever been in a bad fight. He's never really got dominated by anybody. He's fought the top guys. Probably aside from Canelo, has one of the best resumes in boxing. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens. Crawford is a fantastic fighter. He can mix it up. He has great game plans, and he's really skilled. So this fight's going to be interesting, especially the later rounds.
Mm-hmm. I'm assuming you've heard that Shawn's coming as an underdog, by being pound for pound on those things. Do you think that when they clash, that Porter's still going to perform as Porter? You're going to see a similar fight that he's always in.
Yeah. You're going to see a dog fight. As soon as Porter gets hit with a big shot, he's going to turn it into a dog fight, and it's going to be interesting. Porter is strong. He's naturally big for that weight class, so that's going to be a problem for Crawford. But Crawford has also shown that he could change his game plan and make things happen, and it's going to be interesting to see. I think it's going to be a really entertaining fight, and again, I think the last couple of rounds is going to be the deciding factor, just like Spence and Porter.
Mm-hmm. And obviously, you're both from Ohio. Have you had a chance to be in the gyms together, and you and Shawn?
No, I haven't.
When you were coming up?
Yeah, when I was younger, absolutely, especially on the amateur scene. I was close with Porter, but he ended up going to Vegas and everything else. So, but I still follow. We're Ohio boys, and you can't take that from us. Us Ohio boys made some noise in boxing. So, yeah, I'm definitely supporting my man. I think he'll do great, and again, I'm a fan of Crawford too, though. So it'll be interesting. That's why I say I want to sit back and watch this fight and just enjoy the boxing, because if I pick somebody, and I've been doing very well in my picks, but I always get shit for it, and everyone's like, you don't know what the fuck you're talking about, and so I don't want to go through that
You're
bullshit.
Telling the former middleweight champion.
Yeah, absolutely. So it's the age of social media where it gives people a platform to feel relevant. Mm-hmm. So on this fight, though, it's going to be one that I sit back and enjoy.
Now, if I'm not mistaken, I believe a long time ago you had a young David Benavidez, with you and things like that.
Yeah.
And seeing now how his career has blossomed, and just seeing that you've seen him run.
Yeah.
How has his career been turning out, and how have you been seeing his last performance? How does he look?
I think David Benavidez is doing great. I would love to see him fight Canelo. I would love that's the fight I think everybody wants to see. Not knocking Canelo. I think I give Canelo credit for talking about going to cruiserweight. He got the best resume in boxing as active fighters. You can't take that from him. But everybody will talk shit. Nobody talks shit about the guys in the 70s and 80s. And everybody go back to BoxRec and pull it up with some of the greats. Some of them guys, and I'll mention it, like even Roberto Duran fought Acuna, who was 0-2. Well, Duran held the WBA world title. So let's cut the shit on that. Everybody's like, oh, there ain't nobody fighting nobody. Horseshit. Don't bring it up. And I get mad. I know I'm going to take shit for it probably on comments on this. And I don't care if they can prove me wrong. Go to BoxRec and pull it up and prove me wrong. So let's stop the shit. Canelo is fighting the best guys out there. And it's a ballsy choice to go all the way to 190. Yeah. Cruiserweight. You know what I mean? It really makes a big difference. I don't give a shit who he's fighting at 190. When you jump that many weight classes, you're talking about a guy coming down from probably 210, 208 to make 190. It's ballsy, but I still think that, me personally, I would still like to see him fight Benavidez. Everybody's talking about Andrade and Charlo's. Them guys they're out of the question now with Canelo. They really are. Andrade don't fight that much, and the guys that he has fought, let him fight Charlo, or maybe let Charlo and them guys fight Billy Joe Saunders to get a shot at Canelo. But I think Benavidez has paid his dues. He's been at super middleweight longer. Canelo holds all the titles. I think that's a fight right now. And I'm going to tell you what, Canelo's doing great. He's beating everybody. But I will say that's going to be a hell of a fight if he plays Benavidez. And if I had to pick on that one, I may have to roll with Benavidez.
How was those sparring sessions? It was like 15?
Yeah, 15. So they were good. There was clips cut out, but Benavidez can fight even at that age. And you got to remember, that's another thing with Benavidez. he was a big kid. You know, he fought guys that over 200 pounds. So, you know, Benavidez sparring with me. He sparred with guys like this kid Blanco, who was a really good prospect, pro fighter. He sparred many greats. I mean, the kid has been in gyms sparring guys like me and everybody. So he's experienced. I mean, he's got it at a young age, you know.
Benavidez. As hard as like when he was 15, you were a puncher yourself, so
yeah. Well, I could take a punch. It wasn't so much.
Punch too,
yeah.
Like, obviously.
So and he was young. You know, the power to me, they're really, didn't affect me.
Else, though, that wasn't
probably.
Pavlik, they would feel.
Yeah, probably. Wow. But you got to remember, I was never knocked out. I mean, I could take a shot, but that's taking again. But that was a 16-year-old Benavidez. So let's be real on that. You know, he was still a young kid. But he could fight. You know, and that's what I'm saying. To me, I think that's one guy out there right now that could probably beat a Canelo.
And I know that you won't ever say ducks and stuff like that, but would it be very disappointing if Canelo and Benavidez never happens? Would that be a disappointment for boxing?
Nah, not really. Again, I mean, what do you want these guys to do? I mean, they're fighting. They are fighting. And we can go back, and if anybody got the balls to do it, and if they don't want to sit there and lie, go back to all your all-time greats. Pull up their resumes and their boxing record, and tell me where these guys are going wrong now. Just, again, social media gives a platform for people to talk shit and feel relevant. I don't know. I mean, these guys are fighting. There is some big fights that you want to see, but that's at every weight class. I want to see the lightweights. I want to see Teofimo and Tank. I want to see Tank and Haney. I want to see Ryan Garcia and these guys. I want to see, Crawford and Spencer eventually, even though this fight tomorrow is a big one. So, yeah, we all want to see it, but why is everybody always targeting one person? You know what I mean?
I mean, it's just like top, when you're at the top, everyone should
It is, yeah, so, I mean, the guy's, he's doing things. Let's be patient. Yeah, don't get me wrong. There is fights I want, like, again, Benavidez. I want to see that fight. If it happens, it happens. If it don't, you can't really get mad. The guy, he's been staying active. He's fighting. He's a
champions after champions.
Elite level fighting every 3 months, 4 months. Give the guy a break, So it's hard to see who I would like to see him. I mean, obviously, if he's, I feel like if you're going to bypass light heavyweight, fight better beef or Bivol. You know what I mean? If you're going to go to cruiserweight, I don't even know who's that cruiserweight, to be honest with you. But you got Benavidez at super middleweight still, but he has fought. Listen, all the shit talkers right here. This is honest God truth. Everybody's like, he won't beat Billy Joe Saunders. He won't beat Caleb Plant. They forget that. Dude, I screenshotted that shit. I used to see that all the time. All the people talking shit like, he won't fight these guys, they're movers, and he struggles with movers. Okay, right? So, come on, let's cut the shit on that. It's getting old, I think my whole point is, boxing fans, just enjoy what these guys are doing. These young fighters, they're very good, they're talented, they're skilled, they got great technique. Enjoy the sport and quit worrying about talking shit. If you think about it, go back. Even Mayweather, probably the greatest of all time. You got a handful of people that support him, but you got majority of people talking shit about him. Oh, he's overrated. So, when's it going to end?
Yeah, it's just an opinion.
Yeah,
it doesn't mean anything.
That's the problem with boxing, and I think if anything's hurting boxing, it's the fans themselves. So,
just kind of, I guess, a little more, maybe more fun switch. I've seen you with Stipe Miocic, like I said earlier. In Cleveland at the Jake Paul Woodley presser, when you didn't. Jake Paul's now going to be facing Tyson Fury's stepbrother, Tommy Fury, and I know maybe it shows some high love for Jake and things like that. How do you look at the Jake Paul boxing situation? Has it been improving?
I don't see it bother. Come on, if you are a true boxing fan, if you are a true boxing fan. You're going to like that fight. You're going to watch some guys. You're going to show up and support them. I don't think it hurt boxing. They're bringing mainstream people over. Let's be honest on this. You got guys, Lomachenko, who is a world-class fighter. They put him at the small ballroom at the Madison Square Garden because he could barely sell 3,000 seats. So if you guys are going to bitch and everybody's going, oh, these fights ain't happening, well, if the money ain't there and the people ain't there, what are you getting mad about? So you got a guy like Jake Paul and Logan Paul. Real boxing fans should know that they're just fucking around. They're not real fighters right now. I mean, they are, but they ain't. They're not hurting nobody. And you know what? And they're the ones that are pulling 100-some thousand people in. People are going, well, they shouldn't be getting paid more than the fighter. Bullshit. Why not? If you're pulling 2,000 people in and somebody else is pulling 100,000 in, who should get the money? Right?
You went to the fight, right?
No, well, I didn't. No, I didn't go to the fight. I had to go. I had to come out here to Vegas, but
She heard the arena was packed.
Yeah, it was. So
yeah.
I think it's great. I mean, they're bringing crossover people. Let them go. Quit busting their balls on it. You know, if you guys are that mad, just start going to the fights and supporting these boxers. You know, you're over here trying. You know, if Wilder walked down the street in New York, I mean, maybe 3 people will know who he is. You know, boxing's not mainstream. So these guys, they're big time YouTubers, and they're bringing all the fans to the sport. It's not hurting anything. And if you know boxing, you know they're not a threat to boxing. So maybe if anything, you'd be like, hey, you know what? Maybe they're helping.
Which are my final 2 questions. I appreciate you giving all the time.
No problem, man.
Gervonta Davis is coming on and facing Davis-Cruz as a late minute replacement, I'm sure, with the Rowan situation. Just your thoughts on the fight. Is Isaac Cruz ready for Gervonta Davis?
Probably not. Tank is a strong puncher. You know, he could hit. Tank's got devastating power, and when you're able to do that, you mentally wear fighters down too, just not physically, but mentally. So I see this being a big win for Tank. But I think the question comes, who is Tank? And at this point, who is Tank going to fight next after? You know, I think people are getting excited to see maybe a Teofimo or a Devin Haney or Ryan Garcia, somebody like that at lightweight. So I think that's going to be something that the promoters are going to have to make happen.
And just, you know, seeing that you've always been in touch with Ohio and things, is there certain fighters that we should keep tracking Ohio? I know Tiger Johnson's fighting on this card. So
yeah, but I mean, right now that's probably the big name right there. You know, Ohio's we always produce fighters, but Ohio always takes breaks too. It's like, you know, we'll take a little break for 8 years and then we'll produce, you know, big time fighters. But if you really think about it with Ohio, look what we have done. You know, California. How many world champions really from California? There's a lot, but how many people go out there to train and they consider that, you know, world champions? But if you talk about who produced, like where they were born, Ohio's big with that. You know, just my hometown alone, Youngstown, Ohio, 5 world champions in 39 years.
Yeah,
you know, so it's crazy. Yeah.
Like Robert Easter, Adrian Broner.
Yeah, Broner, Buster Douglas. The list just goes on and on. You know.
And then just for fans and social media things like that, where they can follow you where
So
they can catch more. You still do the podcast, right?
No, well, we're covering this fight, the podcast. So hopefully we get that up running again. But I would say, you know, right now, Pavlik.Kelly on Instagram. Guys, follow my Instagram. I put a lot of boxing tips up, a lot of training videos. So yeah, Pavlik.Kelly, and then on Facebook it's just Kelly Pavlik. So
awesome.
And Kelly.Pavlik on. What's that new one? TikTok? Yeah, TikTok.
We got a TikTok.
So, yeah, I got a TikTok. Hey, I'm getting used to it, guys. I'm getting hip.
Awesome. Appreciate it. Thanks.
No problem, man. Thank you.